J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. We about to break down that season 4, episode 4, BMF. Latest episode. Big Meech Terry still bringing up the empire. This episode I actually enjoyed as well. And a couple things that I liked about this episode is that we know it's 1995 because one of the things that we see later towards the end of the episode is the Source Awards for 1995, which, man, time flies, y'all. 1995, I was, 17? I graduated high school in 96. 95, 94, 96, man, those were some huge years in hip hop. And one of the things he said, Meech, at the end when they were at the Source Awards, is that who knew that this night would kick off pretty much the Big and Pac, they would, they drama, and they would meet their demise based off of some events that transpired that night. And I swear I got that on VHS, that 95 Source Awards. Either that or the 2000. The Source Awards, for those that don't know, was wild, man. They were some wild shows, wild awards. And it's not really part of their story, so they didn't really get into it. But, man, they need to do a documentary on the Source Awards, straight up. The Source Awards, man, back in the day, the Source magazine, the Source Award, all this stuff. Man, time flies. Culture changes, don't it? Anyway, y'all gonna have to bear with me after picking up my mama. She was sick. She always gets sick traveling and coughing and sneezing and stuff, and now I'm sick. And God dog it, I hardly ever get sick. But while in Chicago, I had to sleep next to her. And I guess that was it. C'est la vie, right? Anyway, I've been trying to take a little bit of medicine. This ain't no advertisement. This is just what I've been taking, a little bit of the cheap stuff. Shoot. This look like a little bit of Blades manufactured blood packs. What's up, Skywater Technology? What's good with you? Appreciate you for coming through. First in the building. Big Bird, what's up with you, fam? How you doing, man? Hope all is good with you. And also I normally do this review sooner, but a lot was going on this past weekend. What's up, Rashonda? How you doing, girl? Mike Hudson, say, what up, Jay? Finally caught you at the start of a live. Yeah, hey. And it just so happened this ain't a normal time I would do it. I would rather be talking about some news going on in the world, some real stuff on this day. But I can't. I got to, keep up with the BMF. And there was a lot to talk about this episode. So we'll get on into that. So we see this episode. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It had a few things in it. Nikki getting a little fast, ain't she? Nikki, she said, we the bodyguard. We play the bodyguard. Then she say, I know how to suck and blow. Nikki, little boy, Nikki something else, ain't she? Anyway, this episode kick off with Mexico. So I guess we're going to get a little taste of Mexico in the beginning of every episode. And we see Dimitri and, T and Loco, they make it into some spot trying to get some water. Next thing you know, the federales come and Loco get behind one and put the foo-fops on them, and they beat up the other one and take the weapons. Next thing you know, they got them tied up. Loco over here talking about dance, baila, baila. And so Meech and him, they getting drunk off the power. Terry like, come on, man, let's go. And Meech, he having a good time shooting at the flow, making them dance and stuff. And so, Meech and Loco, yeah, they starting to really get close, and Meech starting to really go down a little darker path, kinda, it seems. And Terry, he trying to leave, and now I can see why they may have had some problems in Mexico. Nevertheless, they end up getting out of there, taking their ride, and getting up out of there before some more federales come for backup. Next thing you know, we see, and this is the thing, man. I wonder who this girl is. Purdy. So we see Meech got this singer Purdy singing at they house in Atlanta at the studio, and they trying to get her to come and be a part of their music label, and she already signed with somebody, and Meech running that game like a silver-tongued devil. And I'm wondering, who is she real? I wonder if she was real, and if so, who is she? Did she ever make it? Like, did she ever get a song out or something? I'm wondering. Anyway, I think it probably is a real person. Um, so I don't know. I never came across, only a couple people I heard like somebody blew something that they had, and then Jeezy kind of messed with him a little bit, but he wasn't, I don't think, signed to him. So anyway, we see Meech running that game. The one thing and this is, I get it, like in Chicago in that time period, and people I knew, we wouldn't have been doing powder and stuff. People were selling powder, but people our age, 20, 21 or younger, they wasn't doing powder and pills and stuff. So when Meech is around Purdy and she over there doing powder and doing this and that, then he ain't picking up. In a way, I kind of don't blame him for that, because it wouldn't have been something that you would have thought a young person, especially a pretty girl, would have been doing at that time. Because most people that was doing that stuff was a little older. Most people. Now, in different cities, I done ran out of some tissue, man. My nose about to fall off with this damn paper towel over here, y'all. Had to put it. Shoot. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, drug use. So, her being on that, because dude, it seemed like the label dude that she with may have been using that as like a way of controlling her. Because we see later that episode that it was it was rough, wasn't it? Two rough bust downs that was getting high, half naked at the pool table at dude house, and he said, "I'm gonna make y'all a girl group." And she definitely was gonna be the star of that group. They was looking rough. All right. And he was snapping, he was drowning the dude in his kitchen sink, talking about, "You gonna play my records, you gonna play my records, you gonna play my records." Like, what? Dude, what? Oh my goodness. Payola to a whole new level in this mug. Big Red in there. Anyway, we see also this episode, Chuck put the foo fops on old boy, didn't he? But in a way, I mean, it's confusing. So Chuck, he with that woman on a date, and we see she was just talking about she had a crazy dude. Soon as she started saying that, I would have been looking around if I was Chuck, like, "Oh, how we know he ain't follow us tonight?" That's the first thing that came to mind when she was saying that. Sure enough, here come dude walking behind the car, and then he done stole on Chuck. So Chuck like, and he beat the brakes off a dude, and the way you looked at it, see her, you'd have thought Chuck was wrong. Now it is a point of you've accomplished what you wanted to, and then you've gone beyond that, and he did accomplish what he wanted to by checking dude, and then he went beyond that to punish him. And she was horrified. I don't know if he gonna get a second date or maybe she may feel safe with him. Who knows? But it was just, I didn't like how she was looking at him like he was the monster. Although I understand he did go kind of far, and if a woman feels certain way for somebody, even if they don't want to be with him or something, they may still not want to see him get beat down, beat damn near to death. So she may not want it to be with dude, but she didn't want him to get beat down like Chuck did. So, and I'm sure if he started beating Chuck, she'd have probably been feeling the same way. But in the end, Chuck would have had that beat down. So I get a little bit, it's confusing, it's a balance. But that's why you got to be careful out here, because you could be with the wrong one, and they got people coming that, boy, they don't know how to realize it's over. Anyway, speaking of somebody who thought it was over, but it wasn't, B. Mickey. So Terry had B. Mickey come to the restaurant. He tell him to strip. Boy, B. Mickey is a skinny Birdman Jr., ain't he? He took off his shirt. He's skinny. I thought he was going to pull them nards and sit them on the table. Like, I mean, what else you want to see? Bluka? There you go. But Terry wanted to make sure he wasn't wearing no wire or whatever, because he had to go and bounce with Meech, and he wanted him and Big Boy to keep an eye on Markeisha and see what she up to. And man, it didn't look good. Now, they didn't exactly see anything incriminating. They did see her going to talk to Boone, and he was like, "Ooh, you looking good. I can't wait to get some of that again." Ooh, talking about the kids. She still wanted. She told him about the deal that might have been a setup. That she talking about. What about somebody else? He like, damn, hold up. You about to have me in here for life. And and so they peep her leave there. Then she go and visit that police officer friend. And when man is rubbing and grabbing all on your hips and this and that, it ain't a good look if you somebody's woman. Now, that don't mean that you did something, because sometimes people be touchy-feely and you got to block and dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dip. But it didn't look good from a distance, because they was sitting there and they like, man, Terry ain't going to want to hear this. But we going to tell him what he need to know. And so it's messed up. We didn't get to see that conversation. I wonder what they told Terry and how he reacted. They said he was mad, but we didn't see. We did see, though, Terry may be starting to wise up, smarten up. And that's when he was talking to his baby mama. And he was saying, you the one always had my back. He realized she is a smart one. She getting herself together. She about to be working at City Hall. He like, oh, I ain't about to give you no booty. He like, no, here. And he open up this bag of money. He like, you gonna hold this for me? She like, no, I'm gonna hold it for us. So that could either be a good thing or a bad thing, because if she get that money and get used to having it, then he want to take it. She could be like, ain't no more. I spent it. Now what? You owe me. You don't pay no child support. And so who knows? Anyway, hopefully they can work it out. One thing we see is Meech got lucky when Jay Pusher sold that work for him, because Bryant got Atlanta hot right now, real hot. And even locals say, no, Atlanta, tú caliente, muy caliente. Dan Louis, oye, Dan Louis es bueno, Dimitri, Ben Louis, then Pusha, you Pusha. So we see, which was actually smart, because it was no Bryant. It wasn't as much heat in St. Louis, and they could kind of operate away from all of the heat. Whereas Bryant, he got to go and apply to work at this police station and do this and do that. So it's a lot easier for them to move and move around and get away like that, which was a good move. And so we see Meat show this big warehouse. Man, they be making some moves. I don't know how. I mean, of course, it's a TV show, how accurate or whatever. But I'm assuming they had. If it wasn't that big, they had some nice space to do they moves, make they moves in real life. And it lasted a long time, they organization, considering how big it was and what they was doing. It's a lot of people that do this and last a long time, but they may not be as big as them. They can have all kind of different levels of stuff though. So anyway, because actually I've met people in Chicago that's pretty big, but I don't know how big actually. Although one person, he was on Vlad TV. I'm trying to remember his damn name. Anyway, it'll come to me. He ain't that well known. It's I can't remember his name. Anyway, so we see Terry and Meech. They making the moves. They got lucky. Pusha moved that, but here's the problem: Jay Pusha in St. Louis wanted me to connect. So here's the way that I always knew how the game worked, and it was around this time period, from what I know. So here's the thing on why, if anybody was wondering why Meech didn't have Loco speaking to Pusha, and he didn't tell exactly who was who, is because you gotta protect that connect in the game. That's why when what was we watching some other show and they was talking about they owed money or he was stealing money. What was that? Raising Canaan, and Canaan was stealing, shorting the staff. I didn't understand that because this is how it worked. As far as I know, I don't know everything, but if you got the connect, that's all you need. Either the connect is gonna front it to you and you pay them back X amount, or you gonna give them the money up front and they gonna give you what you paid for. That's it. Whether you sell it or use it up, whatever, that's on you. Now it's a problem if you got fronted because you owe somebody some money. So you don't want, you would at least do that, or that might be your last in life. But other than that, so Meech didn't want Loco to come and meet Pusha, but Loco insisted. And he said, I just won't say nothing. And so Meech didn't tell Pusha that he was the connect, though. That's why Pusha was like, hey, I didn't know if we could speak business in front of Unc or whatever. He like, nah, it's cool, such and such. And that's because he didn't want him to know that he to connect, because then Meech would be obsolete. Why I need to go through you to buy this when I can just go right here to him and get the same price you paying? And that's the thing. That's why people that, as far as I knew and my experience, if they was the man on the block, it's because they had the connect and they didn't let nobody meet that connect. They didn't introduce, they didn't do nothing. No, because then you wouldn't need to get nothing from them. They couldn't mark it up. They didn't have the control. It's like all kind of things in human life, knowledge, and the lack of knowledge creates power, creates money. So Yvonne Cox, what's up? You say, how old is the dude Nicole is messing with? He seems like 10 years older than her. Big time. Big time. And like Terry baby mama said, you're gonna get somebody killed. Because Nicole ain't thinking. But if that dude does her wrong and Terry find out, what you think gonna happen to him? He may not get whacked, but it ain't gonna be good. And that dude, I think one of the things that make him look so much older than her is she's so little. But I think one of the worst things they did is to smash inside that restaurant. Damn, Terry gonna be mad. Straight up. DeMarcus Vaughn, we can't forget that Worm is LaWanda cousin. Worm? Who is that? Big boy? Shoot, I forgot who Worm was. DeMarcus Vaughn, you say Terry should have gotten B Mickey to pick up Nicole instead of Worm. And that's Worm is who's picking up Nicole. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's actually, yeah, good point. Because B Mickey wouldn't have messed with her. He already got somebody. She wouldn't have wanted to mess with him. That would have been perfect. But, she don't understand the game she playing. She gonna end up getting dude in trouble. Yvonne, you say Terry right about Jay Pusher. He went straight to the connect at the end. Exactly. And so that's the whole point of what I was saying earlier is that you got to protect that connect because they can cut you out the game and take your position. Mess up his whole organization. Meech put them on. Meech got them so he can move his stuff that he getting from Loco. If Loco end up giving it right to them, now Meech got to find somebody else to help him move his stuff. And there's where the problem moves. And then that would mess up his whole thing because now somebody got to the connect and he didn't make no money off of it. It didn't help him. It hurt him. So, and Terry saying Jay Pusher a snake, here's why he would say that. Because in the game, if I come with my connect and I'm putting you on at good prices, good quality, you should be happy. But you want to go around my back and get it even cheaper and cut me out when I'm the one that saved you, helped you with your brother, helped put this money on you. And the thanks I get is you don't want to pay me. You want to cut me out. That's where the problem is. That's some snake stuff. Now, if they would have both met the connect at the same time, that's different. But that ain't what happened. And at the end of the episode, he not only was it messed up that he went to go see the connect, it's what he said. He said, Meech out of town. His head ain't in the game right now. Trying to make it seem like he not reliable. As if you are more reliable, your head in the game. We saw what you can do. Work with you instead of Meech. And that right there, that's the real snake right there. That's the python in this mug right there for real. Big Bird, you say Nicole may get dude murked. Hey, for real. It definitely ain't looking too good. Definitely ain't looking too good for dude. He over here smashing the boss daughter. I mean, sister. That DeMarcus Vaughn trail is giving me P. Diddy vibes. Hey, he actually might be ahead of Diddy because Diddy ain't get to where putting hands and doing all of that till maybe a few years later, whereas he already doing it. So he may have been the one that taught Diddy his moves, No, but yeah, man, he definitely out there trying to gorilla pimp his artists, and he keeping them doped up. It seemed Meech, and this is something, man, that I've seen in life in my small experience is that some people can have so much confidence in themselves that they think everybody else has got to be less than, either less than them or don't have this or not as that, because they normally come across people and they're the most or whatever. But it's always other people out there that have the same confidence as you, have the same swag or abilities or thoughts as you. And, you shouldn't underestimate them. Never underestimate anybody. Then you won't be caught slipping. And Meech is kind of underestimating Jay Pusher. At least it seems that way to us. Although he know he is kind of shady the way he talks about them, he doesn't seem to be seeing it as a threat the same way Terry does. And so, but Meech, the way he carries himself, he thinks he's above everybody or smarter or the swag or whatever. And Terry is more cautious. So I can see why they, have that way. Plus, by the younger brother, we kind of saw a little bit of his insight when he was with Jay Pusher little brother. And Jay Pusher little brother was upset. He done got his finger messed up, cut off. He can't play baseball. He over here delivering video game machines, arcade machines for his brother. And he basically a lackey for his brother now when he could have been a baseball star. And now they got the Moors, the Muslim Israelites ready to get in that ass. So he was mad at the casino. And then him and Terry had a little bonding moment. Terry had to take off them glasses. Hey, look here, man, my brother. Because the things with him, I can't. And so he like, dang. Okay. So, in a way, they had a bond. We could see Terry been having difficulty being in Meech's shadow to a certain extent. And at the same time, he trying to make his own way. Kevin Abreu, you say, bro, why you tripping? Salute to all my freak off people. Tripping on what? What you talking about? Big Bird, it may not even be T to kill dude, one of his soldiers. Yeah, it probably won't be T. I mean, so far this show hadn't showed them take anybody out. And that could be by design, maybe truth, who knows. But yeah, I think he may have somebody else do it or something instead of himself. Dior the doll, what's up, mama? You say, why is Charles still living in the house? Him and Lucille getting on my damn nerves. Facts. Facts. He, first of all, she talking about, he told her he getting ready to bounce or whatever. She like, well, that's fine, Charles. He said something about the tour is going. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh, it's going to take that long. She like, well, I need to get on welfare. You giving money to B Mickey, which I get it. It was well deserved, but you trying to kick Charles out to go on welfare? You gonna get rid of the fur coat at first that Meech gave you, but then your girl said, "Nah, you could use this. Get rid of that ring." Like, dang, yeah, she is kind of hard on Charles. If okay, he was wrong, but we all should try to work on forgiveness. I know it's easier said than done, but she a pastor and he's trying, but it's not easy. I'm not going to say it should be easy, but yeah, it is something else, man. And yeah, they got some stuff going on. Uh, let's see. Yvonne, you said, is the new love interest Meech got? Is that Lil Meech mom in real life? Ah, that's pretty interesting, huh? You mean the lady that he met at the studio, or that's helping with Purdy, and he trying to talk to her? It might be, but then again, how old is Lil Meech? I think I could look that up, and then we'd be able to see if that's her, because that's 1995, and let's see. I'll look it on here. At least you can wish me love. My damn computer moving slow. It say that Meech was born in 2000. So, no, that ain't her. Well, it might be her, but yeah, it's still 5 more years before he born, if that makes sense. Because it's 1995, and he wasn't born until April 2000. Wow, the year 2000. Little Meech only 25 years old, huh? So what's up? So, maybe that could be his mama in real life. It just that he ain't about to get pop out no time soon. So, anyway. The Marcus Vaughn, why didn't Lucille pawn her wedding ring to get Nicole out of jail? That's a good point. Definitely could have did that. But I guess she wasn't thinking about it. But yeah, that's a good point. Uh oh my goodness, I hate the summer cold. Oh my goodness. All right. What else was happening this episode? Y'all think Lala is in trouble, man? I don't think it's looking good for her. We'll see how it all turns out, but I want to see what Terry said, what made him so mad, or what was said that had them shook. I mean, we did see, I think that was what, season 2, he had that picture of her when they had Leslie Jones and Bryant come get him. So who knows? Who knows how it all turned out, you know? Bryant, man, Bryant, boy, he on it, ain't he? He over here working hard to get Meech and them locked up again. He went to the strip clubs. It don't seem like them Atlanta police is too helpful for him. They spread thin, doing so much. He got to go out on his own. He was at the strip club with Shorty badass dancing on him. He said, "Get the fuck out of my face before I rub this lip on your cheek. Get up out of here." Hey, Don Ginkgo caught an eye at that head right on time, didn't he? He got up out of there quick, fast, in a hurry. He's like, pull them glasses down. What the? Oh, heck no. Let me get up out of here. So, anyway, the Marcus Vaughn, you say, boom, use Isaac Roberts to set up Marquisha and Terry. Yeah, because when she told Boom what happened, he didn't seem too surprised. He ain't want to talk about it no more, but he ain't seem too surprised. And so that might be a possibility, you know. Uh oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. I've been looking for my dang on medicine cup. Time to take a dose. I might have to drink it like Diddy and the baby oil. Anyway, Dior, you say Dior the dog. Detective Brian is annoying, but unfortunately, he not going anywhere. I know, right? That's crazy, man. Um, I know that's got to be a crazy life to have a cop chasing you from Detroit all the way to Atlanta, city to city. I mean, I doubt he gonna be able to go to St. Louis, so I think that might have been the best thing they could have did. But St. Louis ain't as fun as Atlanta was in 1995. I'm gonna tell you that, boy. 1995 Atlanta, boy, that was the place to be. And honestly, I wasn't there, but I knew a lot of people that did go and at that time, and I just heard all the stories and saw some VHS tapes, and I was like, I can't wait till I get older. Anyway, Dior the doll, they should have kept the bulldog from last season and had her beef with Lamar. That would have been better. You talking about Miles Davis? Yeah, maybe. I mean, they two interesting characters to say the least with Miles Davis and Lamar, but I don't know. I mean, Lamar, he probably would have got wiped out easy because he by himself. He really don't have no crew. And I'm wondering if we'll even see Lamar. We probably see him maybe one more time this season, I'm guessing. It's really not much for him to be doing. So, you know, anyway. I saw yeah, Dior the doll. Lamar did murk everybody, which is why they should have just took him out. But truth be told, I believe he's still alive to this day. So Hey, man, they let him live. Queen Brielle, what's good, baby? How you doing? All right, y'all. I'm about to go ahead and do my MORESCORE rating. What do y'all think though? Before I get into it, let me know in the comments. Do you think Lala is messing with that cop? We know she can't be sleeping with Boone still because he in prison. Um, Now the cop, possibly. Here's the thing: it's not about the sex. I think it's about the trust. And if she may have been telling Terry, "I'm doing this or that," I mean, of course, way before they got so far down the road, then it may have been different. But if you trying to be monogamous and then you out here doing these things, that's where the lack of trust, the problems, all that stuff come in. So that's why I think it was, Anyway. All right, let me go ahead and do my MORESCORE rating for drink me some of this red rum. This damn medicine. People kill me when they say medicine tastes nasty. Yeah, because they don't want you to be drinking it for the flavor, for the fun of it. But yeah, it do taste nasty. That's for sure. All right. My dang old video here. Oh yeah, that is nasty. Ugh. All right. I can't believe I ain't had a cold and I don't know how long, y'all. To even have my nose running like this, it's been a few years. Few years, man. Anyway, good grief. I gotta get some toilet paper. I'm gonna have my damn nose raw. I'm gonna be looking like one of Meech's customers. Anyway. The MORESCORE, as most of y'all know, my simple rating system. 4 categories, 25 points each, give you $1. And you can always drop off a decimal point, get a score of 1 to 10. Why is this lagging? Come on now. Computer lagging. All right. Oh my goodness. All right. First category for this episode, the visual cinematography. As always, they do a good job making it look like a older footage show, even though it's modern. I do like when Charles beat dude down. Couple other scenes, but I do like how they kind of did that Nikki thing with old boy. He's smoking his blunt. She talking about I can fuck and blow. Anyway, I'm gonna give this category out of a 25. I'm gonna give it a a 20. I'm gonna give it a 20 out of 25. Storyline and plot for this episode was pretty good. We seeing Jay Pusher become the snake that some of them thought he would be. We seeing Dimitri and Terry and their relationship and what's going on. The Source Award. They did a lot. They did a lot. They've been living a crazy life fast, uh, trying to get away from Bryant, that lip detecting them scents, the hot on the trail. We see little Nikki ain't no girl no more. She didn't got that little hymen split in the back seat of that Honda Civic. Now she's a woman now. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a 22 out of 25. She said, I'm about to suck and blow. He said, really? Special effect makeup, costumes. I mean, they do a good job of keeping everything for the era and the time period. Meech had on his little white suit, BMF for life chain. They trying to look out for Purdy and all the stuff going on. They trying to do a few things up in here. Overall though, oh, and of course the strip club was, can't complain on that. But I'm gonna give it for special effects, makeup, costumes. I'm gonna give it a 21. It wasn't really too flashy. Oh my goodness. And last but not least, entertaining fun factor. Most important category. How much did you enjoy it? Was it entertaining? And it was entertaining. I enjoyed the episode. It wasn't probably the best episode they've made, but it wasn't bad. And I'm tired of Bryant, man. I mean, it's weird how TV shows and stuff can make you root for the bad guys and root against the good guys. You know, a lot of these type of shows do that. Um, but anyway, it definitely makes you feel like Brian is the bad guy, even though he's the good guy in the story. And he get on my dang on nerves. And then just seeing what they trying to do and Meech and all of that. And I'm wondering what happened with this artist Purdy, and is she what gonna cause drama with them fighting for her contract? Is she even worth it? She on that powder. Tell him powder. Tell him powder. So ain't no telling. Uh, Dior suck and blow. The Nicole spit off. Yeah, now that's a good one. That's a good one. Yvonne Cox, that booger sugar addiction that the new BMF or artist is going to catch up with her in the end. You ain't lying. I'm wondering if Meech even decide to try to fight for her still. Because at first I was thinking Meech was coming at her because he wanted to holler. But it seemed he may actually just want an artist. Anyway, I'm going to give this last category 21 out of 25, which will give it a total of an 84 on the MORESCORE, which is an 8.5. You all let me know what you would rate it. I give this about an 8.5. That sounded about right. A solid B. I enjoyed it. One other thing though that I did like to see is B Mickey. He got broke off pretty good by Terry for that little spy mission. And Big Boy, he riding good in his little Cadillac Seville. That was a nice ride when that came out. That Cadillac Seville, he riding good over there. And it seemed like they all starting to get cool again with B Mickey and stuff. So that's a good thing to see. I will say I'll give them a little credit for trying, but they showed Biggie in the back of the Source Awards where I guess that was supposed to be Faith. And it ain't that easy to find somebody to look like Biggie. So I give them credit for trying. They did good by just showing and keeping it moving, because then it would have fell apart. I'm sure oh, what to do, baby? Oh, baby, baby, oh. But they could have threw Puffy in there. They should have had. What if 50 threw a drugged out Puffy in there, a drugged out Diddy? Hey man, hey, 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 hey. Tried to make him a little fruit by the foot and throw a little mud on him in the show. That would have been funny. But they didn't do that. They did show, it looked like a Lil' Kim. No, it wasn't Lil' Kim. It was TLC, T-Boz. No, not T-Boz, Left Eye. Because she had that 81 tattoo on her arm, Andre Rison football number. And so he used to play with the Atlanta Falcons at the time. And so when she was talking to him, I was like, oh, look at them try to throw in a little left eye in here, different things. And so that was pretty interesting. They had a good story. I liked, me personally, this episode was more interesting to me watching what they was doing with the artists versus, hold on, man, what in the world? Is this running off my phone? Nope. My dang internet is lagging. Let me turn this dang on Wi-Fi off my phone. Wi-Fi hotspot. Anyway. Big Bird. You say this ninja can even go. It's called talent. I can still do it. Rain, snow, sleet, or shine. What impersonation did I just do? I forgot that fast, man. I forgot already, man. That's one reason I need to. Well, I'm pausing on the smoking and things for a while, and not that I drink a lot, but I'm try to wait a minute on some things. I need to save some money and try to keep my mind. It's a lot going on, man. I saw this one thing. This what scared me. So I read this article that a lot of legal weed growers and stuff is spraying all kind of different pesticides and all kind of stuff and doing this and doing that. And I'm like, what? Trying to kill me? Oh, Biggie. Baby, baby. Oh. Hey, it was all good just a week ago. Yo, Big Meech. What up, baby? Oh, how you doing? You see Diddy? Yo, Diddy, you got a slab of ribs? You got them ribs? Baby, baby, it was all a dream. Man, my nose ain't ran and I don't know how long, man. Good grief. Your nose running is so frustrating, ain't it? Oh, my goodness. Anyway, y'all, I definitely need to come back tomorrow and talk about all these things going on in the world, from the Medicaid, Medicare cuts, the wars, there's so much stuff going on, man. I got discriminated against in Chicago. I couldn't believe that, just because I couldn't believe it, because I still operate in a world of reasons and cause. And I didn't feel it was a reason or a cause for this. And so that's what made me more upset and shocking to me, that people are doing crazy stuff and cruel things nowadays for no reason and for no cause, just because they can or they want to. And that's jacked up. Not to say if it was a reason it's okay, but at least it's logic. This happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. People doing things for no reason is illogical. Not that I'm Dr. Spock in this mug, but I just don't do things for no reason. I don't do things to people for no reason, and I don't do, and not to say I, whatever, but yeah, man, it's just crazy what's going on. P. Diddy going to jail. From what they saying, it might be a hung jury or he may walk, because it's saying that a lot of them are unclear on what may have been the crimes, which, if that's the case, that's a failure of the prosecution. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this episode. in the comments. I appreciate it. Before I get up out of here, I'm burning up, man. I turn on the fan, then my nose start running. Then I turn it off, then I'm burning up. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get up and get me some tissue for my nose fall off. All right, y'all. What else we got on this episode that I missed? Oh yeah, DeMarcus Vaughn, Snoop Dogg can't be at the Source Awards because he played Pastor Swift in season 1 and 2. Maybe, but I think they could have had Snoop there. But the difference is Snoop didn't have them braids and dreads then. He would have to have his little Shirley Temple. He used to wear a Shirley Temple fro, get his hair pressed. But they could have probably put Snoop in there. But then again, then they would have had to put in Suge, and then they would have had to put in Dr. Dre, and then it would have took away from what they was doing. So I get it. It would have made the scene longer too. But that 95 Source Awards, wow, a lot changed that day. And I remember when they said in this episode, when they show Outkast and they was like Andre had something to say. I remember that when he got up, he like, y'all don't know South ain't got something to say? South ain't got something to say? Because Outkast came out in 94 with that Southern Playalistic Cadillac music, boy, and that was a hit. Produced by LaFace, Babyface in LA. Boy, hey, I don't know, man. I guess I'm similar to like my parents, whereas you can listen to old music and it still sound good because they played that Mob Deep in this episode too. Shook Once, dun, dun, dun. I know that ain't how it sounded as good, but it sounded better, I know. Anyway, there was some hits, man. It was some bangers during that time, and those songs in my brain still sound good today, even though they 30-year-old songs. One thing I do is if I'm around younger people and I hear stuff like that, I'll be like, "Do this sound old?" They be like, "Yep." I'll be like, "Whoa." Still sound like good to me. Still sound like fresh new music. Anyway, it was a lot that happened that day. It changed hip hop forever, actually. And also, I will put this out here. That time period, 94, 95, it changed hip hop forever. Because at that moment, going back historically, hip hop it was at that moment, because hip hop still had groups like Tribe Called Quest. They still had groups that didn't talk about the sex and partying and the drugs and all the stuff with the women and things like what rap music does today. That was popularized by Biggie and Puff Style. Tupac did say stuff like, Alizé, Cristal, weed, or this and that, or Hennessy, or whatever, but he didn't make it. He would say like, "Picture me rolling in my 500 bins." So I'm not going to say Tupac didn't have something to do with it, but he had a lot more substance and songs, a Dear Mama, things like that. Whereas like Biggie, he had what? The Crack Commandments and things. It was more of a street poetry. He didn't have like broad appeal. Anybody could hear Dear Mama and be like, "I like that song." Biggie, I don't know. It was different. It was good. I liked it. But I think hip hop, that was like a timeline in the matrix, so to speak. And at that moment, it went right. And that was the direction of, look at me. I'm this. I'm that. I got this. I got that. And I think that really hurt hip hop. Because I'm as old as hip hop. I grew up with hip hop as it grew up. Like, I was break dancing You know, me being born in 78. So like 83. I'm 5. I'm dancing. We doing the hippie do the hop, the hippie do the hip, the Run DMC. It was nice. It was fun and dance and da da da. Nobody know or think much about it. And I remember I'd be like, "Oh, it's gonna be a rapper in this movie. Ice-T gonna be in this movie." And any rapper that would be in the movie, I had to watch it, had to see it, do this, do that. But it wasn't always about killing or drug dealing or how many women and this and that and drugs. It was stories. You did funny stuff. Da 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 da. And man, I think once hip hop saw they about to be balling and Versace and all of this and that, they was like, oh man, the hell with that. And dang man, that was it, man. That was it. That was the end of the golden age, damn near. Because the 90s was the golden age of hip hop. You had the best of every kind of genre really in hip hop, where the stories of the gangster, da 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 da. And then it just kind of funneled down since then into basically one genre of killer make money. That's it. And screw women. And that's all we got them to do now. Anyway, I don't want to sound like get off my lawn. But it was different then. Big Bird Suge said he was talking about Jermaine Dupri dancing in the videos, and we thought he was on Puff. He was on Puff, and he was on JD too, but he was mainly on Puff. Now the thing is, both Jermaine Dupri and Puff started in the game as dancers. Jermaine Dupri used to dance for Houdini. It's even a video. What was that? And they like, oh, this little JD and Jermaine Dupri was like 15 or something. And he was little and he was dancing. He come out and dance for Houdini before they shows and stuff, you know. And so, yeah, he could have said that and it could have applied to Jermaine Dupri, but he was saying all in the videos. I don't know if he said shiny suits in that speech, but everybody knew what it was, you know. Yvonne, you say now it's just drill music. Yeah, see, that's even worse. Cause now that's what real killings, not like 50 Cent or somebody talking about I'll kill you. I ain't playing. Hear what I'm saying, homie. I ain't playing. Even though that's kind of crazy. But now they talk about real crimes. Oh my goodness. The problem is, and I remember telling this to my friend, and he didn't get it. He probably does now. The reason I understood it is because I always liked music and making beats. Me and my friend used to make beats, and I used to go to school, try to do recording engineering and things at Columbia. And the thing is this: you got a catchy beat, that's 95% of it right there. You got the beat, you can get some lyrics, and there you have it. Hell, we had that one beat designer, and all he said was what? Panda. So you got the right beats. That's why when I was telling my friend with Kanye, I said, Kanye gonna change the game, bro. He like, man, he can't really rap or whatever. I'm like, he good enough, but his beats, he gonna have the best beats. Now, I will say he's done way more than I thought. And he's crossed over in a lot more ways and did a group of way. He surpassed all the things I thought. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. Went way past everything I would have expected. But I knew he was gonna have them beats. And hey, y'all saw he made that Howl whoever video. And I ain't gonna lie, that's a dope beat. You put something behind a dope beat, man. It's crazy. Anyway, he changed the song and now it say hallelujah. Everybody's saying hallelujah. Everybody's saying hallelujah. When it was first saying how to the ooga, how to the ooga. Anyway, I can feel my damn nose running now from this time cold medicine kicking in. So get ready to get up out of here, y'all. I'll try to come back tomorrow night. We talk about some of these top news stories going down. And take it from there. We get up out of here soon. Oh yeah, this is something. I will say Kanye is a genius at getting free publicity. Now, if you believe all publicity is good publicity, there you have it. If you don't believe in that, there you have it. I don't believe all publicity is good publicity. Me personally, I actually understand it as long as your name is in the news or somebody talking about you, that's better than not being talked about. Even if I don't want to be talked about that badly, I'm not that interested in that stuff. So that's where I have the issue at with some of that. But hey, if you're in the public eye and you need that type of attention and doing these things, maybe you would agree with that. It's better than paying a bunch of money to publicists and things to get these things done. So get free publicity. All right, my damn computer's acting up now, for real, for real. What in the world? It's trying to shut down my Chrome browser. Ain't that some blip, 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 blip. All right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Let me get up out of here, but everybody be safe, and I'm gonna come back tomorrow. We're gonna chop it up on some of this news that's going down. Deuces. Peace.